But our first game is live.
Yes, there we go. This game is live, as in it's live because we started right now. The game is not completely live, of course. This would be a horrible time for LoWeLy to play. And LoWeLy, Ben, also one of the guys that we are going to see in action in a little less than 8 to 9 hours for the World Championship Continental Finals in Europe.
Exactly right. WCS Europe, the Blizzard European Championship, essentially taking place this weekend. Such a huge tournament. I'm so excited for it. LoWeLy will be there representing Belarus, but he's going to be joined by all of the premier European players. There's only a couple guys that we might want to see that aren't on the list, but it's going to be an awesome tournament. I know I'm going to be watching it.
I'm definitely going to be watching it, Ben, even though it's going to be a horrible time for us. And we're going to be stuck there all night long. Anyways, guys, WCS is going to be awesome. We're definitely going to talk a little bit more about it throughout this entire show. We even made a little preview video on YouTube. We can show you that later on as well. But, Ben, let's focus on this ZVZ first. Of course, Azubu Violet, the Korean Zerg player, my former teammate of Warcraft 3 times, spawning in the left bottom side of Daybreak. And, Ben, having a date on Daybreak is kind of like walking on the moon. And you know you can take those trips, right, if you have enough money?
Can you?
At least I know you can go into space. I'm not sure if you can actually go into moon. When is the last time somebody went to the moon, Ben?
That's a good question. You know what? That's a question for Google, Kevin, because we're on your screen. I can find out the answer to that. When was the last trip to the moon?
And of course, the Belarusian Zerg LoWeLy spawns in the right top side of Daybreak. He's going hedge first. Well, Violet is the one opening up pool and gas. I'm a little bit surprised. If anything, I would have expected this to be the other way around, Ben.
So without looking on my screen, Kevin, can you guess when the last trip to the moon was?
1993.
December 11th, 1972.
Wow.
Was the last time anybody went to the moon. It was the last manned mission. Apollo 17 landed on the moon in 1972 and came back.
Are there any pictures?
A few days later. Yeah. There's actually a YouTube video.
YouTube money. If you ever want to make some serious YouTube money, guys,
just go to the moon and film it.
Yeah, go to Mars or something and film it. Man, that's some serious YouTube money.
Nobody's been to Mars yet. Only the rover.
Anyways, Ben, talk us through these openings. We see LoWeLy going hedge first, Violet going pool, gas, then into expand. I'm a little bit surprised, as I said before you went on your little moon story, which I did a request for, so no worries. If anything, I would have expected these openings to be the other way around.
Yeah, this is kind of Nerchio style that we're seeing from Violet. That's why it doesn't surprise me that much. Violet is a big fan of Nerchio's ZVZ.
And he recently lost to Nerchio.
And he did recently lose to Nerchio. That's exactly right. Also recently lost to Lenok at MLG, but in spite of that, still winning more than 60% of his games. So I'm expecting, well, I don't actually know what to expect from Violet as he's stopped mining gas, so we're not going to see any sort of roach play. But I think he would have done that had he scouted not a fast expand. If he had scouted a one base LoWeLy.
We'll see about that, Ben. We're a little bit confused over here, guys. We're slightly distracted in the studio. We're going to get our heads straight, no worries. We see the Roach Warren being morphed in right now for LoWeLy in his main base. He's going to get his second extractor as well, Ben. So I'm starting to get the feeling that LoWeLy wants to be real funky over here soon. He doesn't have speed.
But he does have about 200 gas saved up, so I expect we're probably going to see a handful of Overlords and then a big swell of Roaches from the Belarusian. LoWeLy does have a reputation for having very fine-tuned, well-prepared builds. Violet's got some tomfoolery up his sleeve as well, though, Kevin, as we've got a small Zergling hit squad heading out. 18 Lings. Violet's only made 19 drones. This is a big sort of Zergling all-in, quite frankly.
And immediately, LoWeLy transfers most of his drones from the natural, but now he somehow sends a couple of... I don't really understand. He wants to fight?
He was using the drones to try and mess with the pathing of the Zerglings, but it did not work out, and Violet is now in the main base of LoWeLy. There are Roaches in production, but
this is nice.
This is not going to work out at all, man. These Lings are just going to do way too much damage. They're going to swing back down into the natural, kill a lot of these Roaches. Violet is droning behind this, Kevin, and he's making up that drone disadvantage that he had by investing in this early aggression. And he's also going to kill this natural expand, man. There's just not enough out for LoWeLy to really contest this. That hatch is going to fall, and Violet's in great shape.
Yep, both queens down, and the hedge went down as well. A couple of more Roaches will fall for LoWeLy. Broodling's helping out a little bit as well. Violet doing this so well. LoWeLy trying to get those good positions, but it's just not really working out for him.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It looks like LoWeLy really wanted to get aggressive with mid-game, like early mid-game Roaches, but Violet's attack just kind of It was, we'll call it like a
nice
soft
base.
counter, yeah. I think there was a big mistake by LoWeLy of not having a spine crawler in his natural. But even in spite of that,
I think if he just had those 2 queens over here on hold position, it would have already been a little bit better. Because 8 roaches were in production, man. If a couple of roaches come behind those queens, I really don't think that 18 links are that much of a threat anymore.
Yeah, unfortunately, he controlled it a little bit poorly. I don't know what he was trying to use the drones to do something there.
Yeah, it was really weird because he pulled all drones, sent them to the main, then he sent 4 to 5 drones back, and I think he wanted to put them on hold position over here on the ramp.
Yeah,
but they were just
queens, yeah.
They were just kind of all standing over here, so hoping that the queens could have got a couple of free shots off. But that wasn't the case, and Violet right now just miles ahead.
Yeah, he's in a great position right now. LoWeLy is going up to layer, probably going to try to do something with burrowed investors. That's really the only comeback unit you have in this kind of a position. Violet can do just about whatever he wants, though, Kev. He's getting his layer as well. He's got a great worker lead. He's up a base, clearly. And he's about to be upgrading. LoWeLy's already working on his roach upgrades, but he's only a few seconds ahead of Violet.
Violet is 10 workers ahead, and now that may not sound like a whole lot. The fact that LoWeLy lost both of his queens as well, and his hatch in the natural, it's massive, it's major, it's really something that normally you can't overcome anymore in ZVZ, while these roaches were pushing the Outer Maiden 2000 forward. That was kind of cute.
And and that's not all they're going to push forward, Kevin. They're going to make their way right up into the natural of LoWeLy. If we look at the units tab, we can see that Violet does have more roaches on the map. But LoWeLy does have the advantage of great position up on top of this ramp. Will it be enough? Oh, I don't think it's going to be possible, man. Violet's just going to keep pushing forward. LoWeLy might have to give up this natural once again.
He has a lot of roaches on the way, but he's losing a couple of roaches once more, and I think he will be able to hold with the reinforcements. He's also going to have speed a little bit quicker than Violet, but I don't think that's really going to matter. Violet is going to take this fight right now. Where are those roaches?
Oh, Violet's decided that he wants to try and focus down this hatchery, and he's going to get it. Another great move by Violet, just keeping his opponent on one base this entire time. Violet, in the meantime, taking a third. He's gone up to 50 drones, so he's got a huge economy. The only thing he really has to worry about right now is getting caught by a big counter, as he did just commit a lot of units to that attack.
Army supply right now, LoWeLy has a small advantage, but of course by the time that these slow roaches make their way across the map, Violet should be more than fine. He's going to need a couple of overlords as well, which he just produced. Violet so far is just playing this so well. He got ahead, and instead of just sitting back, he started trading some, pick up a couple of units, hit an excellent timing, and any hope that LoWeLy had of still turning this into a long macro game, they got shut down.
It was a really interesting attack by Violet there in the beginning with the speedlings. Here we do see LoWeLy's counter starting to materialize in the third base of Violet, but at this point Violet's got enough to deal with it, man. He's got more roaches, and he's not quite even in upgrades, but he will be in just a few seconds, as we already pointed out. Does cancel the third base, doesn't want to take any chances at all, but upon seeing LoWeLy making his way towards the natural, decides to engage. Could maybe catch a couple of roaches there, but Violet's just in great shape.
Violet is so far ahead. LoWeLy's supply block now as well, unfortunate moment. Speed is kicking in for Violet as well, as these roaches will catch up. And all that LoWeLy can do is just fall back and hope for a miracle on ice, but then miracle on daybreak, man.
Miracle on creep, Kev.
Miracle on creep. Oh man, I've seen those. A few times I was so far ahead, but the miracle on creep did happen.
Burrow did just finish up for LoWeLy, so it gives him a little bit more in terms of defensive flexibility. He also has that infestation pit out. Hasn't gotten the upgrade yet, the energy upgrade. He's going to need that if he's going to be able to actually produce any infestors. Violet is going to go ahead and push in for an attack, though, and I think he might just end the game before the infestor tech can ever become a factor. Spinecrawler's not yet complete. Roaches massively overwhelmed. And Violet is just going to march right in and easily dispatch LoWeLy in game number 1. There's the GG. Great play from Violet. And, you know, a few mistakes there from LoWeLy, quite frankly. Yeah,
uncharacteristic mistakes by LoWeLy. LoWeLy, a player who really prepares well for his NASL games. If this is your first season watching the NASL, or you've been gone for a while, in Season 3, LoWeLy was quite a Cinderella story, as he had a couple of really unique builds, but he was so extremely well prepared for his opponents that you could say it was almost blind countering, but it was just obvious him doing his homework and studying his opponents.
It was good preparation. And on that same vein, as a player who we know likes to really research his opponents and prepare good counter builds. Violet's a guy that you can't really do that for because he has such a diverse range of styles. So this is a very difficult opponent for LoWeLy.
But at the end of the day, it all boils down to not having those 2 queens in the right position, trying to make something happen with those drones, because in that moment he was 10 drones
Violet
ahead.
was taking a risk, man. If there's a spine crawler in the natural, if the queens are controlled better, if the roaches are out.
Roaches could have been out in time if he would have just held his ramp a little bit longer.
Any number of those things would have made that game very difficult for Violet. Either way, LoWeLy is down 0-1. We're going to take a short break, and then we'll be back. More StarCraft 2 action coming from the North American Star League after this.